How come black people can refer to white people as white boys, but not vice versa? There is a specific history of people using the term boy to denigrate black people. Like it would be something a police officer would call a black man of any age boy if they pulled them over on the highway, just as a reminder of who is in charge. So there is just an inherent nastiness behind the term that doesn't really apply when talking about whatever white boys are doing. One side is often offended by the term. The other is not. The other side doesn't need to start being offended for the sole purpose of making it even. I am white passing and grew up playing basketball in a community that was hood adjacent. I was called white boy a lot playing pickup or even in leagues. I didn't think much of it and still don't. It's just a double standard that you'll have to put up with. Everyone are beneficiaries of certain double standards and are the victims, so to speak, of others. You're right though, if I were to do the reverse equivalent and call the only black kid on my hockey team black boy, there'd be a mob ready to burn my house down. Nobody would care if I said black dude or black guy. It's just boy. Double standards. Racism is a tool. Historical context. Black people were oppressed by white people. It's still something that affects them, and it's very recent. So being racist towards white people is usually seen as a way in which black people are taking back their power. When a white person is racist towards black people, it's seen as them wanting to oppress black people again. Is it fair? No. It's all racism. But historical context makes one worse than the other. Society is racist in deeming certain things okay for one race, but not for the other. Historic racism is used as an excuse to justify modern racism. This is wrong. The real answer is double standards. Everything else is just excuses. B.C. Thayer entitled "An Racist Law." And yet women are still referred to as girls while men are men. It's a U.S. thing. Don't think anyone would care if you called any male under 23 a boy in the UK. Historical context. Historically, white people called black men of all ages boy in order to impress an order of hierarchy and inferiority upon them. I think you need to understand the underlying connotation of the term boy as applied to a black man during slavery. Always interesting to read how some people justify and reconcile certain behaviors. Each to their own, I suppose. You can? But there is racial undertones from history just being white good black bad, so people tend to avoid that one. Boy has a historical connotation where either by law or socially black men were to never be respected by being referred to as a man. That's why in the 60s to 90s there was a small trend to name black male kids things like Mr. or King, etc., to force people to refer to them as such. Because historically, white boys has never been used as an insult or to degrade a group of people. You call someone a white boy and they don't care. You call someone a black boy and you have insulted them. Calling black people boy has long been used to demoralize and insult them. This is one of those things where I fully see the implied racism with the phrase intentional or not, because nobody calls them out on it. Also, black boys sounds stupid phonetically because hypocrisy and bitterness. In a perfect world, everyone would acknowledge the crimes of their ancestors and move on with the intent of bettering themselves. Because in today's society, framing whiteness as a character defect is acceptable. This is just one aspect.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.